Hey everybody, it's Angela. I hope that things are good and groovy in your life as they are for me. I'm so happy to be here to speak with you guys right now. So, today's video is I want to share with you. I'm just going to do this my style. My mind is thinking of the formats of a lot of other YouTubers who make these type of videos and the way they share, but I'm going to share the way I share. And what is on my mind, of course, is gratitude, gratitude magic. Um, Let me start from the beginning. So this, I recorded this video about 10 minutes ago, but it wasn't coming out right, so I just stopped it. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't practiced my gratitude yet. I haven't written in my gratitude journal yet for today. Let me do that because I feel disjointed, and I need to make sure I have a clear intention for what I want this video to be about. And today's video is about gratitude. It's about gratitude work. It's about preparedness, blessings, and opportunities. Okay? Are you with me? And so, what I initially wanted to make this video about is how I've kind of fallen off of my diet goals and my spirituality goals, really, because I believe and I am practicing as consistently as I can so far on my walk is honoring God, honoring my spirit, honoring the universe, my ancestors, honoring my spirit guides and my archangels, everyone who has come before me and who protects me. I'm honoring them with the life that I live, which means I am making better choices as consistently as I can. And I don't want that to sound like an excuse, but it's just me being honest. I am getting better every day. I'm not perfect. As I told you guys in another video, I'm not through the forest yet. Can I get an amen? And so, the choices that I make, honoring my body, listening to my body. And so I didn't do that completely this week. Today is Saturday, right? And so this week has been a really interesting week. It started by me having a really grumbly stomach all week, right? No matter what I ate, and then I start freaking out, like trying to really figure out what it was my body needed for me to pay attention to. And so, but I used that also as an opportunity to slip up. So I had meat this week. So I had to meat, even though I know I didn't need it, and it's changed my frequency a little bit. Like I feel a little bit heavier, not too bad because I only had a little bit. I had a little bit of dairy, I had a little bit of egg. On 4th of July, I had a little bit of a couple of brownies. And then yesterday, what capped it off is I had a glass and a half of red wine. For whatever reason, my body has now decided that alcohol is not something it wants. And I had a horrible, horrible hangover last night and this morning, and I'm still reeling from it. I have a horrible hangover. And really what the whole situation was with the grumbling stomach is that I need to be drinking water consistently. I drink coffee every day because I really enjoy it, and it's good for my asthma. Look it up. And I just drink it black, with no sugar or anything. And but I need to be drinking water, and I'm not drinking it because I get tired of having to go to the restroom and pee all the time. I hope that's not TMI, but it's real. She gets tired of peeing. So I'm not really listening to my body. So I hope this is all going to come together. So I was thinking about that, and I was starting to feel really bad about myself and my choices. I was starting to feel mighty low. And never a coincidence. So it just so happens that I catch an old episode of Oprah with Ayanna on it. And Ayanna has been on this kick of your mistakes are not fatal. And it has spoken to me because I have a habit of being really hard on myself when I make a mistake. And just hearing that, mistakes are not fatal. You're not about to die. You're not about to go to jail unless you're making criminal mistakes for the mistakes that you make, right? I'm not going to jail because I had a glass of wine and because I am not drinking enough water. I had to give myself a break. And the other part of that is Ayana was in this episode. It's right after, if you guys don't know, let me make it as simple as possible. Ayana was there to talk about how she'd gotten off her path and lost all of her money. She lost her book deals and she had lost everything. And this is maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I don't know at this point. I can't think. And so she was on Oprah to make amends with Oprah because they have fallen out and what have you. And she wrote this book where she shared her story and she was completely vulnerable. And she talks about all the lessons that she learned and how she really needed to do the work. And she was walking the best walk that she could at the time, but she still had lessons to learn, right? So she was doing the work and she was sharing the work, but she wasn't really walking the walk or doing as she teaches. But she didn't realize it, right? She hadn't made that mental connection. And I saw myself in her, right? I'm making these videos and, I'm sharing with you all these lessons that I'm learning, but there's a part of me that's not walking the walk. And it's not because I am consciously two-faced or consciously, preaching, and not walking my walk. I'm doing the very best I can. And I wanted to share that because it's real. It's my truth. I want to do better, be better, and be consistent. But I have to be honest with where I am, who I am, what I'm done, what I'm doing, and sit in it and be in it. And so I decided, I slipped up, and I keep slipping up when I'm not doing the work. My spirit has told me I need to practice writing in my gratitude journal every day. I didn't do it for 2 days. Didn't do it for 2 days, and what happened? I slipped. It became harder to make good choices. The other thing I noticed is when I make these declarations, it seems as if more hurdles are placed in my way to test me. And I typically fail. I typically, will get off the wagon. I'm back on it today. I did my gratitude practice. And what I love about my gratitude practice is these things are always revealed to me. I have these epiphanies. And I like to write down 10 things that I'm grateful for. Because what I notice is I'll write down 5. I'll get to 5 and I kind of want to stop. But then I'll write that next 5 and it's like, I have an Oprah aha moment. The light bulb will go off. I'll have an epiphany. And today's epiphany was the other side of the magic. Gratitude is extremely important. You have to be grateful for everything in your life, right? Because it changes your vibration and you vibrate more positively and you start to become aware of the opportunities, right? Now, the other part of that is doing the work. You can't have gratitude, just like you can't pray for something and ask for something without getting prepared for it. And that was a lesson that I saw last night. An opportunity, a little blessing came my way. And out of pride, I did not take advantage. And at the time, I thought that I was making the best choice for myself and I wasn't going to, take this opportunity because I had made this declaration about who I am. And that's why you have to be careful. And somebody told me this a long time ago, one of my friends, you need to be careful, Angela, with all these declarations that you're making about your life and who you are and what you're doing because you're setting yourself up for failure because you're human and you're not perfect. And so today, through my gratitude practice, I realized that really was about my ego. I didn't want to bite my tongue on this opportunity. And so instead of just graciously accepting this gift from someone that I needed, I was like, no. I said that I wasn't going to need any help from this person, specifically a man in my life, right, who I don't want to have a sexual relationship with, but we're still friends. And he had a blessing for me, and I was like, I don't need you. Basically, I didn't say it this way, but the whole idea was, I don't need that from you. I can do bad all by myself, right? And I think it's something a lot of single women and you need to be careful with, and not just single, but just, I have this story in my mind, and I've talked to my sister about it, about feeling like I'm strong enough to do by myself. Chris Rock said something about, to this effect about Black women always wanting to feel like they can, be strong and do it by themselves. But he was like, why should you? And why would you want to? And can I get an amen? Because it seeped into me today, like through my gratitude practice. Bitch, you missed out last night. You had this blessing presented to you and you didn't take it. And I get it now. Like, I don't have to struggle. And it's a part of that struggle, right? I grew up watching, and this Ayana talks about pathologies all the time. And I know I'm all over the place, but hopefully this will be wrapped up beautifully at the end. But pathologies, I watched my mother, struggle on her own. I mean, my dad was in my life, but he was a weekend dad. I mean, he had another family. We had a relationship, but the bulk of the work was being done in my life daily by my mom. And that was the example that I saw. And so it's easy for me to live my life under the same archetype, right? Of being single and fucking struggling in different ways. But I don't have to do that, and it's breaking the cycle. And so the other part of the magic and doing the work and having these blessings and why it's important to stay consistent is that's what luck is, right? Oprah has said many times that luck is preparedness meeting opportunity. And that blessing was an example last night. Even though it was being delivered through somebody I didn't expect a blessing to be delivered through, I've been preparing for this particular moment. And it's like that with everything. You prepare and you're grateful for the journey, and the opportunity comes and it's like a blessing. But as long as you've been preparing and doing the work, it should be a no-brainer to you. I'm not going to make this video really long, but I want to think of more concrete reasons why, and what that looks like, but you have to do the work. You have to be grateful for the journey. I mean, you can't just be grateful and not out here doing anything. Like, for instance, I am working on starting a business, and I've not been consistent in it. I actually haven't worked on my business in really diligently in about 4 or 5 days. Now, if an opportunity comes, I won't be able to see it because I'm not doing the work. I'm not preparing. I'm grateful for the journey, but that's not enough. You've got to do the work. You've got to make time for it. If you want to see real change in your life, you've got to do the work. You've got to be grateful, but you've got to do the work. All right, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm loving making these videos. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning to let go. I'm learning to live in the moment. And get yourself one of these. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I got this and started writing it April the 8th. It's about to be July the 8th, and it's full. And it's full of gratitude. And now this is a tool that I can use and go back, because there's some real good nuggets in here that I can go back and meditate on. And that's a gift that you can give yourself. I'm going to leave it here. Again, I'm going to leave it here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Peace and blessings. Until next time. Bye.